Hey everyone, I'm Cassandra. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before with me, you know this is not the normal background. I'm taking a field visit today. This is Lauren Berger. She is intern queen and I'm in her offices. And you need to check out Lauren's channel. I'll let her talk a little bit about that in a minute. But we did a video on her channel, so go check that out after. She's got awesome advice. Today we are going to talk about 5 things to never do if you want your boss to love you. But first, Lauren, share with us a little bit about who you are.
Sure. So I'm the CEO and founder of Intern Queen and Career Queen, and you can find our channel just at Intern Queen, and we just give free career and internship advice. So hopefully you'll find a lot of your favorite videos on the channel. Check it out.
And y'all, I will say, give a lot of, I think we have similar vibes.
Yeah.
So I think if you like me, you're going to really like Lauren. Yeah. And I know you'll watch more than just my video because you want to see, like, did other people say what she said? Go check it. Make sure you'll go.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, right. I think we're pretty on the same page.
Yes.
Agreed.
So, because Lauren is also a boss, I wanted to find out today what her thoughts are on things that, like, you just shouldn't do because they're going to annoy your boss. So, number 1, we've talked about this before, asking questions you could answer yourself. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I feel like we need to start by saying, like, everyone's going to do something to annoy their boss, right?
Oh, interesting point.
But like, yeah. Seriously, like, everyone's going, I mean, you go to work every day, depending on how much interaction you have with your boss, like, everyone's going to annoy everybody at one point or another, so I guess point 1, like, deep breath. Totally. And point 2, yeah, I think, take notes during conversations, because I don't think anyone has a problem answering questions. Questions are great. I think where the problem comes is when there's been a conversation, notes were taken in that conversation, and then the same question pops up, and it's like, well, didn't we just talk about this? Didn't we set aside time to give you the answers to this question? And, you know, everyone's sensitive these days about their time. So, yeah, just take notes, write down the answer, and try not to ask questions that you already know the answers to.
Definitely. Number 2, starting off or pretty early in the job, asking for a raise or title change.
Yeah, I think that, well, first of all, you should never do that. I don't know why that would happen, right? Because you're obviously being hired with a certain job title and in a certain financial bracket, if you will, right, at a certain rate. So I would say find out before you start when your first evaluation is going to be, or even how frequently the company discusses raises. Most companies discuss raises annually, and understand when that time is and when that next evaluation or opportunity is. And I think those are the times when you can bring up, you know, questions about titles or pay and all of that.
Yes, I think that's great to hear. And I think sometimes people do it because they think they're being ambitious. Like they're showing, no, I really want to do a good job. I think I've earned this. It's like, there's a time. We have a time. There's a time for it.
Yeah, and I would add too, like, it's great to be ambitious, but you got to back it up, right? Yes. You got to have that work behind it. Like, it's great that you want to be a vice president of blah, 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 blah. But, like, you know, you got to...
Have you done the things?
Yeah, have you done the work to do it? Yeah.
Okay, number 3, being unprepared for meetings, events, etc. You should be more prepared than your boss.
Oh, I love the whole you should be more prepared than your boss. I mean, yes, absolutely. And I think in general, something that we try to do, and to be honest, I don't think it's necessarily our strong point all the time, but we try to have agendas before every conversation. And I think sometimes it's easy to create an agenda when you're having a conversation with a client. Like at Intern Queen, we're really good at that. But I think sometimes where we can be stronger, I know, is having agendas for internal conversations, because if you don't have I mean, I'm definitely guilty of just rambling in 1,000 directions, and then a 10-minute call is now a 30-minute call. Totally. So I think just creating an agenda is one step that you can take regardless of who you're talking to help really streamline conversations.
Yeah. I also tell people I work with, like, reverse engineer ahead of time what you're going to need for that meeting. Sometimes I think you would think people would remember, but I've seen that people forget, like, oh yeah, I need to make sure I have that document pulled up because we might want to look at it. Like, bring more than you need to, just in case.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4, needing constant reminders.
Yeah, you want to take initiative and you want to own your workload. Your boss or even your colleague shouldn't have to constantly remind you to do stuff. You should just know what you have to do, come in the morning, create a plan for yourself, and do it.
Yes. And then lastly, not prioritizing well.
Yes, prioritizing is hard, especially when we live in a world right now where everything is important.
Mm-hmm.
I had a book come out about 1.5 years ago called Get It Together, and I have this whole, you should get it. You should get it together. But we talk a lot about this whole thing, urgent versus important, because again, this year, everything's urgent. Mm-hmm. And so it is really important to kind of look through your task list and say, okay, how am I going to prioritize? Usually you're going to prioritize by deadline, so anything that is due that day, maybe by a meeting or something that's in your calendar for that day, but there has to be an order. You can't do everything at once. So just really try to think about the priority of the things on your to-do list. And that way, if you are questioned by your boss, you know, well, why did you start with this? You have a thoughtful explanation behind it.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were 5 things you should never do if you want your boss to love you. Hopefully that helps. Y'all, we did a video about your biggest career questions, the toughest questions. We chose with each other. We compared notes. And so you need to go check that out. Link will be below and also in a card here. And all the info for Lauren's channel, the book, all of it will be in the description. So thanks y'all. Bye.
Bye.